What's up, all my devil dogs? It's your boy Sean, all Strength Corps. I'm 5-star general. Hold on, I'm going down these stairs. I'm not trying to fall and die. All right, cool. So I'm actually gonna go. I just got back in from work. I got up early today. I gotta go hit up the gym, and I'm gonna actually go watch the new Spider-Man movie with my sister and one of her friends. So that should be pretty dope. Yeah, I'm actually headed to the mailbox right now because I'm trying to see if the package that is supposed to be being sent to me, I'm not gonna say what it is because I'm gonna do a review on it when I get it, but one of my good friends, he knows who he is, and it's nobody you guys really know either, but he sent me some stuff and I've been just kind of waiting on it. We've been kind of having some issues with mail around here, so I'm just trying to make sure, you know, nobody takes my shit, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing where, I mean, that is fucking illegal, but I guess, you know, in my neighborhood nobody gives a fuck about the law apparently. So let's check it out. Nope, nothing. So that sucks. Does it make me a dick that because my shit wasn't in there, I just left the mail in there? Doesn't make me a dick, right? Maybe a little bit. All right, guys. So I just finished uploading this video right here. Had to get a thumbnail for it. Thumbnail game is strong. That's all I'm saying. My thumbnails have really come up. Like when I look at my channel, it's like a beautiful portfolio of just awesomeness. Like just the thumbnail game is just so strong, man. Like who wouldn't come here and be like, damn, this dude's putting in work, you feel me? So anyways, y'all, let's head over to the gym, man. I don't want to make this vlog dumb long. Alright guys, so I'm about to start my deadlift portion. I got 400 and, what is this, 405, 4 plus 50, 455 on the bar? I think it's 455. I'm gonna go for just 3 doubles and then I'm gonna go ahead and get into my leg workout. So, yeah, I'll probably talk to you guys in between just to explain a little bit more about my powerlifting as far as deadlifts are concerned. Then I'm probably gonna voice over my leg workout and give you guys like, you know, the topic of the day, whatever I choose it to be. All right, so here we go. Heavy deads, 3 sets of doubles. Let's get it. So that first set, it didn't feel too bad. It does feel kind of heavy. I'm on fucking 4 and 5 hours of sleep, like I said earlier. So it kind of did feel a little bit heavy, but I should be able to get a couple doubles. I'm just gonna really rest 5 minutes in between every set. Sometimes I'll go 3 or 4 if I'm really feeling it, but I know I'm tired today. So I'm gonna give myself a full 5 and try and hit these doubles and get the fuck out of here. So that second one, like, in all honesty, that second one, like, I could not go for a double, man. I'm feeling, it's not feeling light. Like the other day, that shit felt light. Today, it feels heavy as shit. So I'm gonna probably go for one more single, and I'm not even gonna try and push the shit for a double, and then get into my leg workout. I'm not even gonna squat barbell today. I'm gonna squat fucking machine today, man. I'm not feeling that shit today. So let's get in this last set of deadlifts, man. So I'm about to go ahead and hop into my hip thrust, get into the leg workout, and voice this shit over, man. So hope y'all enjoy today's topic. Hope you enjoy me failing at my doubles. Sleep is important, y'all. That'll be a whole nother video, but sleep is super important. I'll talk to y'all at the end of the video. Alright guys, another video, another voiceover. Let's hit today's topic strong, okay? So today we're talking about muscle loss, atrophy, detraining, basically losing your muscle mass or your training adaptations due to inactivity of the muscle, either through you falling off or some type of injury. Those are like the top 2 reasons that people typically atrophy or their muscles lose strength and size, right? So we're gonna actually talk about 2 different people, because you're either gonna fall into one of these 2 groups, most likely, if you are watching this video. So we're gonna talk about competitive athletes first, and then of course the recreational lifter, which is usually most of you guys, okay? So as far as it goes with your competitive athletes, they tend to detrain a lot quicker just because their level of activity is so much higher than the standard rec lifter, or even just, you know, the gen pop, right? General population, in case you don't get that jargon, okay? Because they're at such a much higher activity level, they're going hard. Like if you think about competitive athletes, they're training hours on end. You know, think about, you know, NFL players, soccer players, hockey players, hell, even your like super competitive like power lifters and things like that, they're training very, very hard, so they tend to detrain a lot quicker. Now when they detrain, they still are usually stronger than Gen Pop and the recreational lifter, just because their level is usually so much higher than everyone else's that when they fall off, it's like LeBron James falling off his game. It's like, yeah, he might not be what he once was, but he's still so much farther ahead of everybody else. It's not that big a deal. You can't really tell. But yeah, when it comes to competitive athletes, they tend to detrain in usually about 2 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks. It just really depends. Of course, everybody's genetics are different, and you know, it's just going to depend on, you know, that individual. So they tend to detrain a little bit quicker. Now when it comes to the recreational lifter, there's been studies showing that sometimes as long as 12 to even 31 weeks has been shown before muscles really start losing like significant size and strength. I mean, usually you will start losing a bit, but you won't really notice a significant change usually for around that time. Now I know a lot of you guys are like, no way bro, like I feel way weaker, you know, like a week or 2 after, and a lot of that is neural. You have to remember, a lot of times when you are taking a break, think about it, if you're like a power lifter and you take a week or 2 off the gym, because your intensity is much higher, when you come back, yeah, that weight's gonna feel a lot heavier, because your you know, your nervous system is like, what the hell, like it's in 2 weeks, like we haven't lifted anything this heavy, and now you're saying we gotta lift this, you know, like it's, give it some time, you know, as opposed to if you're doing like primarily bodybuilding, sometimes you can come back and feel stronger because your joints are rested, your body is rested, and you're not usually lifting at a high percentage of your 1 rep max. So when you are lifting that weight, you know, you might even feel stronger because your body has had time to recover, you know, and you don't detrain as fast. You know, the higher the intensity that you train at normally, usually the faster you detrain, and you know, that's just the nature of the game. You know, if your intensity is not as high, you're gonna detrain at a slower rate, which is why it has been shown that like endurance athletes who primarily use like slow twitch muscle fibers, they tend to detrain the slowest. All right, they tend to detrain at a super slow rate because you know, they're using mostly slow twitch muscle fibers, as opposed to somebody who's doing, you know, competitive powerlifting or weightlifting, or you're an athlete that uses like primarily power and strength, like in football, for instance, rugby, things of that nature. Those people are going to tend to detrain a lot faster because of 1, neural, and 2, just the level of intensity that you're training at, okay? So with that being said, let's actually go ahead into a couple of different variables. Let's talk about age really quick. So we all know that as you get older, your body does lose muscle mass. I believe it's called, oh man, sarcopenia. I think it's sarcopenia. It's basically muscle loss due to the aging process. Like as we get older, of course, you're not gonna have the same muscle mass that you had when you were in your 20s, when you're in your 50s, okay? Like I think it's like by the time you turn 30, every year slowly, like you lose a little bit of muscle mass. So, you know, of course, that's why it's important to always train, but that does happen. And the older you are, the faster you detrain. That's just, I mean, that makes sense, right? I mean, when you're younger, it's a lot easier for you to keep up that level of activity, but as you get older, because your muscular strength, the quality of your muscle, like all of that, you know, you lose skeletal muscle mass as you get older. So of course, it's gonna be a little bit harder for you to get back on the wagon, and it's gonna be a little easier for you to fall off, okay? There hasn't been really any correlation as far as gender is concerned. Like, it hasn't been shown that men or women lose or atrophy or detrain any faster than one or the other. So there's no really scientific study on that. So it's not like dudes or women win here, okay? But you know, as far as, you know, losing muscle mass, I think a lot of people kind of take it way to the extreme. You know, people feel like if they miss a day or two at the gym, like they're losing all kind of gains. It's like, man, not really. You know, after a week or two, typically you're still gonna have most of your strength and size, okay? I mean, unless you're like super highly competitive. I'm talking you're a competitive powerlifter, even if you're a competitive bodybuilder, you got a little more time. But if you're not an athlete training at the utmost heights of that level of fitness, you're gonna be okay, all right? For the general population especially, you're really gonna be okay, all right? 12 to 31 weeks, just think about that, especially if you're someone who really specializes in endurance work, like you train for a lot of marathons, or you do a lot of maybe like rowing, canoeing, playing stuff like basketball, like where you're not really using a lot of super fast twitch muscle fibers, okay? I do want to go ahead and make a quick note as far as atrophy is concerned, which is muscle loss, in case you guys, you know, don't get the jargon. I will go ahead and say that as far as atrophy, there are different muscle groups that do atrophy a little bit quicker than others. So for instance, most of the time your legs are gonna atrophy first, because basically it's weight bearing muscle. So like your legs, your core, you know, calves, everything lower body usually atrophies a little quicker, because typically, let's be real, you're still using your arms a lot for stuff. You know, you're still using a lot of your upper body to do things throughout the day. But as far as your legs are concerned, if you're not putting on that heavy weight, if you're not squatting or leg pressing or whatever you do for your legs, heavy weight, then of course your muscles are gonna atrophy a little bit quicker first, because let's be real, I mean, most people, when they do get injuries, they suffer them to their lower body. You know, now if you suffer them to your upper body and you continue to work legs, then of course that's gonna change. But legs, typically, all things equal, you know, legs and core are usually the first two things to go. Okay, it just makes sense. Those things really are what keep us, you know, moving throughout the day. So yeah, I just wanted to address that really quick as far as muscle loss is concerned, because people have been asking me, you know, oh, I had this injury, how long, you know, before my muscles start atrophying and getting smaller and things like that. And you have to remember too that, you know, the more you work out, your muscles actually hold more water. I don't know if you guys knew that, but when you are training, especially when you're doing something like bodybuilding, it's a little bit different for powerlifting, because that's a lot more neurological. So you detrain, but it's not so much muscle loss as it is just your nervous system not being used to lifting that weight after a certain amount of time. I mean, just think about it. If you're lifting 500 pounds, then all of a sudden you take 2 weeks off and you don't lift any of that shit, and then you go back to lifting 500 pounds, your body's like, whoa, like I wasn't ready for that. But if you're consistently lifting 500 and adding weight to the bar, your body's like, yo, I gotta be ready at any point to lift this 500 pounds. So you know, you just have to keep all that stuff in mind. So I hope that this really addressed you guys' question. If you have any other questions about muscle loss, be sure to leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to respond to it. You guys know I always get back to all your comments. And I know that my Fitness Pal video was supposed to come out. I wasn't able to release it yesterday. A lot was going on, man. It wasn't coming out the way I wanted to. I sat here and tried to record it, like it wasn't happening. So I'm gonna get it out to you guys tomorrow, because I feel like Monday is a great day to release that, and it'll really help you guys for the week, okay? So any other questions, of course, like I said, comment below. Don't forget the orders, subscribe and share, like and comment, follow my social media. Till next time, all my devil dogs, dismissed.
I'm a general, a nigga, I'm a general, salute. I'm a general, a nigga, I'm a